In an industry stuffed with marketing bullshit, empty promises, and shiny suited liars, one woman's had enough. She knows what it's like to have the wrong clients, no money, and no time for fun. But she also knows how to fix it. And on the Business for Superheroes show, she promises to tell the down and dirty truth about business, sales, and running away with the circus. Here's your host, Vicky Fraser.
Hello and welcome to the Business for Superheroes show. I'm Vicky Fraser and this is my husband Joe.
Hello.
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 How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. I've just finished cooking.
Good.
So we're going to record this fine podcast in between having cooked and eating.
Oh yeah, so hungry. It's going to be
a short one.
Yeah. And also this podcast is brought to you by white wine that isn't quite cold enough.
It's not bad though. Cheers.
Guess what I've been doing today?
What have you been doing today?
I've been interviewed on the radio.
Yeah.
And
cool.
So it's going out the same day as this podcast goes out. So when our listeners are listening to this, I'm also going to be telling them about the radio show that's going out at 9 a.m. on, was it Radio Sheffield?
Something like that, yes. Radio Sheffield. Sheffield Live.
In fact, let's hang on, let me just find it right now. Here we go. It's
Preparation is key.
Preparation is key, people. It's Sheffield Live, 93.2 FM in Sheffield and via internet live stream, which is sheffieldlive.org/player/index.
I don't think I need the index PHP.
Do you not?
No.
Okay. Anyway, it's on from 9 till 10 a.m. and he's going to be playing our interview at about 9:10.
Cool.
So I will be
glued to the radio.
Glued to the radio, and well, I'm going to be in Cleveland.
I will be glued to the radio.
Joe's going to be glued to the radio, and I will be, and it's going to be podcasted as well. So
yeah,
that's
cool.
going to be. I'm really excited about it. It was a really good interview. I really enjoyed it. It was good fun. And that's Jamie, who is brand new member of the Superheroes.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. Really enjoyed the interview. Thank you so much for inviting me on. So
sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet. I'll have to get him on our podcast at some point.
Bring him on.
Yeah. Right then. Anyway, what are we talking about this week?
I have no idea.
Have you got a topic prepared, Joe?
I have not got a topic prepared. I could talk about brambles for half an hour if you like. I've done an awful lot of bramble clearing, and in fact I still have several of them embedded in my hands.
Oh dear. And what else have you been doing today while I've been out at Trapeze?
Oh my goodness, plugging in the new router for the amazing internet that comes on tomorrow.
Yeah, the day before I go away for a week, we're getting super fast broadband.
Oh yeah, we are out in the boonies, so internet faster than 1.5 meg is quite a thing.
How much did they promise us? Like 40 meg?
56, 57, something like that.
Oh my god, it's going to be so exciting.
It's going to be amazing.
I'm so excited. Right, okay, what are we talking about this week? We are talking this week about, I think the working title of the podcast, or I may change my mind, is Free is for Fools.
Right.
I pity the fool.
Pity the fool.
And this has been prompted by one of my clients who posted in one of my Facebook groups the other day, asking my advice about a response she had to a proposal she had sent out. So a little bit of backstory. One of my mantras is never meet for free. Never meet anyone for free. Now, I do have a few exceptions to that rule.
Okay.
For example, if I am doing work for a charity, I might decide to meet them for free, but I have some caveats to that. Or if I have otherwise qualified the prospective client, highly qualified them, I might go and meet them for free. Or if it's like a mutually beneficial thing.
Right.
A little bit of quid pro quo. But generally, if somebody says, can I buy you a coffee and bend your ear for half an hour? My answer is no. Because
sure. Or I've got an interesting project coming up and I think you might be suitable. Come and see us for a meeting.
Yeah, my answer to that is no. And there's a few very, very good reasons for that, which we'll go into in a little bit. But basically, no. just nope. Nope. Anyway, so that's a bit of backstory. And a bit of her backstory is that she has recently started charging for proposal meetings at my suggestion because she was getting a lot of tyre kickers and time wasters. And yeah, it is excellent. And so she was charging at £39, which I think is still too cheap. But then she got, people were absolutely happy to pay that because one of her things was, if we go on to do a project, then I'll knock it off the project fee.
Of course.
Which is the way these things often work. And she'd just put her fee up to £45 recently as well. And she'd had no pushback at all on it. She'd had a few new meetings and no pushback at all, which doesn't surprise me because it's £6. So she'd done that until the other day when she got her first negative response via email. And it knocked her sideways a little bit. So there's kind of two sides to this. And I'm going to address the emotional feelings side first. Feels, because I totally get it, and particularly from a woman's point of view, I think this stuff bothers us a little bit more than perhaps it does blokes. I don't know. It's probably a bit of a sweeping generalisation, but I think generally we are more bothered about what people think
but
of us.
You women have got a big broom.
We've got a what now?
Big broom.
A big broom?
For sweeping.
For sweeping?
Yeah. Sweeping generalisations. Big broom. Women's work. It was kind of...
That was terrible.
Sorry. Fine. Whatever. Move on.
So, anyway, my experience as a woman tells me that we tend to give a bit more of a shit what people think about us, which is really annoying. Not everybody. It's like that really annoying hashtag, not all men. Fuck off. Anyway, so she'd had this negative feedback and it bothered her. Because you're like, oh yeah, it's all going really well. And then you get somebody come back and give you a bit of passive aggressive bullshit and, a bit of guilt tripping. And you're like, oh, maybe I've done something wrong. And the key to that is, and this is exactly what I told her, and I totally understand because I do this as well, don't I?
Have you said what happened? So you just got a bit of pushback?
Bit of pushback. I'll go into details in a moment.
Okay.
And so I'd said, yeah, that's it. It does hurt for a few seconds. Allow it to hurt for a few seconds and then look at all of the good positive feedback that you've had from people, or, the complete lack of feedback that you've had from people who don't care that you put your prices up. Mm-hmm. So, and you kind of allow yourself to have, 10 minutes of feeling like, and then you slap yourself and say, it's one person, stuff them. It's easier said than done, and it takes practice. And I think that was the first negative thing that she's had a lot less of that than I have.
I guess some of the, unless you're kind of measuring how many meetings you go to that turn out to be a bullshit waste of time, it's difficult to, you might feel like you're spending less time travelling to and from bullshit meetings, but you should measure that stuff, really, shouldn't you? You
should, and I would hope everybody would, but I actually have, that's kind of the second part of the story. So, the negative response that she got was from a charity. Now, I said earlier, I will sometimes meet charities for free, but I have rules, very specific rules that I set because, charities are still businesses. They should still be run like businesses because they have to make a profit, but their profit is put back into, the good works and all the rest of it. Yeah. So anyway, but she'd done some work for this charity before, or she'd had a meeting with this charity before.
She'd had a meeting with this charity before.
Yes. And the response that she got from the current marketing incumbent, or whatever incumbent it was, the woman, was real passive-aggressive bullshit. I'm not going to read it out because it's not my place to do so, but I can give you an idea of, lots of, but we're a charity and every penny counts, and it removes the ability to make an independent and non-influenced choice. Both of those things are bullshit, by the way. And of course, I've been working as a marketing manager for 11 million years and I've never previously had to pay or been charged for speculative quoting work. And it's like, well, good for you.
Congratulations. Jog on.
So, but here's the thing. And the other thing is, it's £45.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of money. And I have a real problem with people asking you to do speculative design work and stuff. It's like, come and pitch. It's like, no, basically you're getting design work for free, or writing for free, or ideas for free. No, just no. And I am on a bloody mission to change this, because the more freelancers that say no to that kind of shit, the quicker it'll die out.
The more freelancers will get paid.
Yeah, because it's a lot of work. I mean, people I've known people put days and weeks of preparation into this stuff, and. It's high value stuff. I'm probably going to get people arguing with me about that. I don't really care. You choose to do what you want. I will not get into a pitch fest.
I mean, I guess the response to that is, Vicky, how much time do you spend going to bullshit meetings for free?
None.
Are you topped out with work?
Yeah.
Are you busy?
Yes.
You're making loads of money?
Yes.
Cool.
Not making quite as much as I'd like to, but then who is?
Yeah.
So anyway... But yeah, that was the thing. But the thing that really got me, and this is the thing that you said, how many, you have to measure how many bullshit meetings you're going to. My client, my acquaintance has met with them before for free because they're a charity and she wanted to work with them, which is totally, I'm absolutely on board with that. And do you know what happened?
Nothing.
The girl, no, even worse than that. The girl who she was meeting, the woman she was meeting, turned up 1.5 hours late. I can't even begin to tell you how fucking rude that is.
Yeah.
And like, when I read that, my eyes were popping out and I was like swearing at the screen. I was like, what the actual, it's like, oh, we're a charity, meh, meh, meh. Yeah, you are. Doesn't mean you don't get to treat people with respect anymore. Oh, absolutely disgusting behaviour, totally disgusting behaviour.
Yeah.
And the meeting itself went on for 2 hours, which is 2 hours, which is an hour more than meetings should ever last for, in my humble but correct opinion. And she said, I've got opinions about meetings. And she spent an entire day working on the proposal that she put together.
So she's basically lost at least a day and a half on this.
At least a day and a half, yeah.
Not counting travel time.
Yeah. Because when you put a proposal together, which should be an action plan, by the way, everybody, you're putting action plans together, not proposals. That's important. When you're putting an action plan together, it's not just a fee. I don't just send a piece of paper with I am charging you this much on it. It's like, this is what I'm going to cover, and that in itself is valuable because it's a very very
it's
very
a big old list of things they should be covering.
Yeah, it's a very vague outline of my ideas and the value that I'm going to give to them, and they could quite easily take that, give it to somebody else, and say, this is
here's what we want doing. Yeah,
here's what we want doing. Can you do it for half the price? And you'd be there are a lot of people out there who will do that. So this is why we weed them out with the paid meetings. So yeah, the proposal that she was putting together would have been value in and of itself. The way the charity behaved was absolutely disgusting. And then to send a passive aggressive email like that in response.
But why don't you want to come to another meeting for free? I can't believe it. We're a charity.
Yeah, and it's also really frustrating because there are a lot of us out there who will work pro bono for charities for a reduced fee or for to do some free work even if you've got time, and to treat our time and expertise with that level of disdain is vile because it means that we're less likely to ever do any pro bono work for charities in the future. And the other so the big reason why they're kind of why she turned up 1.5 hours late originally is because people do not value free. They really don't. I'm not talking about free offers of free samples and things like that. That's entirely different. It's like people will queue up for hours for a free bloody ice cream.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about this kind of skill and the services that people provide, I'm not going to say what specific industry my client's in, but she's in the marketing arena, kind of, the helping people sell stuff. If you do work for free for people, they're not going to value it. And the number of times that I have given free advice to people, I get a lot of emails asking me questions.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will answer them in my next daily email as like a, if it's something I can answer. Sometimes I will answer them in a podcast, as actually I'm kind of doing today, with my client's question that she posted in the Facebook group. But sometimes I will just get back and be like, no, people pay me for this stuff. If you want the answer to this, then you can join the Small Business Superheroes, or you can pay me for a consultation,
buy a book, or borrow my brain, or do something.
Yeah, but the number of questions I get, people wanting freebies, and there's 3 reasons that I won't give it away. The first reason is that other people are paying me, and it's not fair to give away that stuff for free. In fact, it's downright wrong, I think. Yeah. The second reason is that, no, I'm not. It's valuable time out of my day, and I can always make more money. I can't make more time. I'm not going to waste my time on people who, and this is the third reason, I'm not going to waste my time on people who are not going to do anything with the information I give them.
Because they don't value it.
Because they don't value it.
Because they're not paying for it.
Because they're not paying for it. They've got no skin in the game at all. If you give away everything for free, people will take and take and take, and then they will complain that your free stuff doesn't work because they've done fuck all with it. Yeah. It's one of my least favourite things about business owners, and everybody really, I suppose. Everybody wants something for free.
Yeah.
But, and you can try it on once, and I've learnt the hard way.
Yeah, you've given it away cheaply in the past, haven't you? And it doesn't work so well for anybody. Yeah. It's
really funny though, because people really do bitch about this stuff, and it's just like, you've just had it for free, do one. It's like it's not working because you've done nothing with it. It's like buying a book and hoping it's going to solve all your problems. It's hilarious. So yeah, really, that's it. We're done. No, I'm kidding. The other reason that we don't work for free and we don't give big discounts and all the rest of it, and we kind of don't meet for free either, is we get much better clients that way.
Yes, ones who actually take you seriously, have a budget, are prepared to actually do something rather than just have a revolving door of people wafting through, giving them bright ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think my key takeaway for this podcast is that people will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So, if you allow them to walk all over you, that is what they will do. And they will value you no higher than you value yourself. So, if you don't put value on your own time and your own skills, then you can't possibly expect anybody else to. And that I think is one of those really important things that people need to practice, because I see business owners all the time undervaluing themselves, and it's heartbreaking, man. Heartbreaking. Because they do really good stuff, and they can't see the value that they bring. And that's really important to keep in mind as well, because when you get people, I hear people say, "Oh, I can't possibly charge that. I couldn't possibly charge that." Nobody will pay that. Nobody will pay those fees. And the answer is, well, you don't know that.
You've got the wrong clients.
Yeah, you've got the wrong clients, and also you're attracting the wrong clients, because there is, I think we've talked about this before, haven't we? But there is, there's a certain segment of society that won't even look at you if your prices are too low, because you simply won't, you won't register with them.
Yeah.
It's like,
because they value the work more than that.
Yeah.
They think, if I want to market my multi-million-pound business, I need to spend a bit of money doing that, and it should be several % of my budget. Of my turnover should be spent this way.
Yeah.
So somebody saying they'll do £5 an hour and generate a whole bunch of stuff, they're not worth it. Forget it.
Yeah. But even deeper than that, that's what you've just said is entirely correct. But even deeper than that is that these people who are willing to pay the big bucks are very, very busy, and what they are actually paying for is time back for them. Because they don't want to be messing around with, with looking over people's shoulders all the time. They don't want to be, the people that I write for haven't got time to write. They haven't got time to do copywriting, and that's why they pay me. They're not really paying me for the copywriting. They're paying me for good results and for good, all the rest of it. But that kind of goes without saying. What the value that they really get is that they then don't have to worry about that.
They don't even think about it.
Don't even think about it. So, and that's where you've got to get your head at. That's where you've got to start thinking, what type of client is going to pay me a lot of money? And it's always going to be people without any time who are rich.
Yeah.
Because rich people are busy. There seems to be this misconception that rich people are all lazy. That's not true at all. I'm sure there are some rich lazy people, but
it's not always people either, is it? It's wealthy businesses.
Well, yeah, and the affluent. I'm not even talking about rich people. I'm just talking about the affluent, really. Affluent business owners, which is probably what most of the people listening to this podcast are going to be going after in terms of clients. They've got plenty of cash, and they're very, very, very busy people.
Yeah. Or just affluent clients. I mean, there might be hairdressers out there listening to this podcast. Hi, hairdressers.
Hi.
They're not after necessarily businesses to point themselves out. They're after people.
Yeah, they are after people. And again, it's like, it's okay, so we can talk about my little trip to Jodie and Vicky's shop in Ludlow the other day.
Hey, Jodie. Hey, Vicky.
Hi. A lovely shop called Eclectica in Ludlow. And, I hate shopping. I fucking hate shopping. It's awful. And the other day, I went round there to get a new top, because I basically live in t-shirts, and I wanted something pretty and nice, and so I kind of gone with that in mind, and
you came back with bulging bags full of things that you wouldn't tell me the price of.
Yes, I came back and spent and yeah, but the thing is, I go in and I get given a glass of bubbly. Or half a glass of bubbly in my case, because I was driving back later. But, half a glass of bubbly, and I get ushered into a changing room where Jodie brings me beautiful clothes that are going to look good on me, or at least not look bad on me, because she's got a really good eye. And I get to get changed, and we have a natter, and I tell her what I'm doing and all the rest of it. And it's a really nice experience. And before I know it, I'm handing over my debit card, and I've just spent on some clothes that I didn't intend to. But I'm really happy about it, because I had a lovely time. Had
a nice experience and came away with things that you wanted.
Yes. And, that's perfect. So it's really all about finding,
That's better than elbowing people with in chain shops, isn't it?
Oh, hell yeah. Like Primark. You wouldn't catch me dead in Primark.
Oh,
and I am quite happy to be accused of being an elitist snob for saying you wouldn't catch me bloody dead in Primark, because it's
about the experience, not the product.
Well, no. Well, in Primark's case, it is about the product as well, because I have had stuff from Primark before that people have either given me, or that my one time I went in and actually got elbowed in the face. I'm not even kidding you. And I washed it once, and the seams started falling apart. And so, you're going in, you buy your cheap shit from Primark. It's a massively false economy, because after 2 washes, it'll have fallen to bits. Plus, of course, there's the moral cost of the sweatshops in India and whatever. I have no idea if they use sweatshops or not. Allegedly. But I'd much rather spend, 80 quid on something that's going to last me for years than 10 quid on something that's going to fall apart next week.
For sure.
For sure. So yeah, what's my other takeaway?
What are you doing? What are we talking about next?
Price being elastic. Price is elastic. People will pay whatever you ask for something they really want.
This is true. What was that thing that turned out to be? Oh, we talked about this last week, didn't it? It turned you bought a jug from an art gallery.
No, I bought that painting up there.
Oh, the painting. Yeah, there you go.
The hair and the moon.
Turned out to be a third of the price you thought it was.
Yeah,
and they corrected you at the till.
Yeah, and I would have.
This is very honest.
Yeah, it was. And I would have paid. Yeah, it was. I thought it was 150 quid. I'm sure that's what she told me. And he said no, it's 50 quid. I was like, okay, I'm going to have that jug as well, because I'd really wanted this jug for ages. But the point is, if he'd said 150 quid, I wouldn't have batted.
Because you wanted it.
Yeah, because I wanted it, and that's what I'd anchored the price as. And yeah, even if I wanted it, is basically yeah. And controversial statement here, but if you go into the house of a so-called poor person who says, and there are obviously poor people, but for somebody who says, I haven't got any money to do this, that and the other, or I can't afford to buy fresh food for my kids, and you go into the house and it's like, well, you've got Sky TV there, you've got a new car on the drive, wearing a brand new pair of trainers. And I am not for a second saying that there aren't people out there who are suffering hardship. There are plenty of people suffering hardship. But my point is, you spend money on the stuff you want to spend money on. So, and it's the same with business owners as well. It's like, oh, I can't afford to, I hear all sorts of excuses. I can't afford to join your superheroes. It's like, fair enough. But, if you're spending 4 quid a day on a Starbucks, that's more than it costs to be a member of my superheroes. So, you find money for the stuff you want. Everybody does.
It's priorities, isn't it?
Yeah.
I knew a bloke who left university with a decent degree, maxed out his overdraft and everything else, bought himself a Lotus and lived in it for 6 months because he wanted a Lotus.
That was bonkers.
Yeah, he was nuts.
Is that the same guy who used to bake beans in a kettle?
No. Hi, Ross. Baked beans in a kettle. He also made a honey sandwich. Well, he didn't have any honey, but he wanted a honey sandwich. So he sprinkled sugar on bread and microwaved it.
Did that end flamily?
It did. Yes. Fire brigade was called.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, have you heard my have you heard my bread roll story?
No.
This was back in my days of not really being a grown up. They haven't really passed. But I had got a bread roll out of the freezer, and I was like, I'm gonna microwave this bread roll and defrost it because I wanted to make a sandwich. And it had sesame seeds on it, and I put it in the microwave for 2 minutes because I had no idea how long it took to defrost a bread roll in the microwave. And when I went to get it out, when it dinged and I went to get it out, it was still solid. I could kind of knock it on the thing, and I was like, oh, it's obviously not defrosted yet. So I stuck it in for another 5 minutes.
Oh wow!
At which point the sesame seeds exploded and coated the microwave in thick, oily black sesame seed smoke, and everything that came out the microwave for the next 6 months tasted of sesame seeds.
Cool story.
Thanks. So,
have you done that thing, next microwave trick? Have you done the thing with the loo roll?
No.
Right, okay. Step 1, get very drunk.
Can I just add a disclaimer here? Do not do this.
Okay, so what happens is you get very drunk.
Yeah.
You go into the kitchen of preferably somebody else's house.
Maybe somebody you don't like?
And it's all a house party type scenario.
Okay.
If there's some smokers up the garden, that's an absolute bonus. So you open the kitchen window nice and wide, and then you grab a loo roll from wherever that you happen to find the loo rolls, and you microwave it. While it's microwaving for 5 or 6 minutes, you find yourself an oven glove, and then when your loo roll is like properly red hot, you whip it out the microwave with the oven glove and throw it up the garden at the smokers. It goes off like a firework. It's amazing.
That sounds amazing. Oh, now we've got a huge garden. We could try that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, don't try
do
that
that,
at home,
people.
kids. So I think we've learned some very valuable things in today's podcast. And I'd like to just clarify my thing about poor people and because I'm genuinely not being an arse, but there are people out there who will claim that they don't have money and then they do have money to spend on stuff that they want.
Okay. It's just priorities, isn't it?
Yeah, it's priorities. And that is in no way maligning people who actually are suffering hardship, because those people should be helped.
Yes.
So anyway, we have learned today that price is elastic. People don't value free. And if you put a toilet roll in the microwave, you can make it explode.
When you throw it up the garden.
Very
important to throw it out the window quickly.
Anyway, you know what? If you do this and you suffer any kind of an injury or loss, it's your own stupid fault. Do not come crying to me. No, because I'm not a lawyer, but I don't want to be, just don't connect it to me in any way.
Okay.
So, right, okay. Next week, we will be talking about my exciting trip to Cleveland.
Yeah, when do you go?
Wednesday morning. I'm getting up at 4 a.m, which is going to be
that's going to be awesome.
So, yeah. Next week, we'll be talking about Cleveland, or Cleveland, as I have always called it. Mm-hmm. Because, I don't know why, because it looks like Cleveland. It's going to be snowy. I might build a snowman. I'm very excited. Proper snow. It's been basically snowing all day today and all day tomorrow. So that's cool. And at some point, we're going to be talking about stress as well, because this is not something that we've talked about before, but it's something that's really important, I think, because it's dangerous. Dangerous stuff.
Stress.
So, Joe, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening, dear listeners. Don't set your house on fire or anything. And if you want to be investing in yourself, if you're not a tire kicker, if you are ready to do more and achieve more, join us in the Small Business Superheroes. I will help you get focused on the right thing. I will help you put your energy and resources in the place most likely to get results. I will help you to be less panicky. I will kick you up the arse when you need it. And you will join a really cool group of people that you can it's like a safe space to bitch about stuff. You're more than welcome to do that.
Everybody's having a good time making progress, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I'm really proud of my superheroes. Hi, superheroes!
Hey, superheroes.
Right then, we're going. I'm going to America. I'm hoping I'm going to have to really try hard to keep my mouth shut about Donald Trump as I go through customs.
You really are. Honestly, more than 50% of the voters voted for him. Just shy of 50% of the voters voted for him.
So if I get there and I'm like in the immigration queue and I'm like, what were you thinking? That probably won't be good.
You're going to offend at least one person who's going to put you in a room and
cavity search me.
I
don't want that to happen. Okay.
Just zip it.
I'll let you know how that goes, listeners. Okay, be good. If you can't be good, don't get caught. Bye.
Bye.
Like what you've just heard? Tell your colleagues. Tell your friends. Send them to www.businessforsuperheroes.com/podcast.